Dan, we've got a new Sync Points out.
Is that true?
It's true. It's
what?
true.
I thought it was a lie last week.
No, we that was the only thing that we said last week that was 100% true.
Very good, very good.
We watched Air Force One with friend of We Studios, Harry Nelson.
I like that guy. He says
Good
yes
guy.
a lot.
He's a good guy. Election day is tomorrow. If you're listening to this the day it comes out,
Yeah.
It's not going to be pretty.
It's important to get out there and vote if you're in the States. We don't want a situation where we get Gary Oldman in the White House threatening to take down planes or whatever he was doing in that
exactly
movie.
what happens. I do like the idea. I do like the idea of an evil president, Air Force One.
Hey, we might get one.
We might get one. So if you don't want to vote for Trump or Clinton, and you're just kind of sick of the whole thing, and you just want to lock yourself away for the next few days, we get it. And listen to our Sync Points and watch our Air Force One.
Yeah, Air Force One currently streaming on Hulu, so check it out. You can get our Sync Point. Go to our website, weepodcast.com, wepodcast.com. And while you're there,
we've got other Sync Points.
We've got other Sync Points.
We've got our Simpsons podcast, We're Simpson
sure do.
Ever. We've got other 90s Percentile episodes.
Absolutely. And if you want to support us, you got to click the Amazon links and shop like you normally would on Amazon. Or if that's too much, you just go to amazon.wepodcast.com. Couldn't be easier.
It couldn't be as easy as hijacking the most secure plane in the world.
Absolutely. 60 minutes are on the clock, and straight out of We Studios, this is 90s Percentile. My name is Dan.
My name is Jack, and we're talking everything 90s and maybe also everything before and after.
And we are joined in studio with a guest, an actual guest in studio, not one of those remote guests like we've had in the past.
I like how condescending you are. Oh, how dare they not live within transport 2 hours.
How dare people spend their good time to call into this show and do us a favor. Anyway, Lani Harms, our guest here in studio today. How you doing,
Careful
Lani?
what you say,
Hi.
Lani, because Dan might just throw you under the bus next week with
God.
whatever.
Really seemed like it. I was listening to Annie Chang's episode right before this, and she brought you guys cupcakes.
Mm-hmm.
She did.
And I saw how much that really helped you guys like her more, and I
Absolutely.
was hoping to do that today. Bring something.
I'm getting excited. I didn't see
didn't
any.
have time to pick anything up. So
Oh, so you're just hoping.
Okay.
You're just
I was
telling us.
hoping
So
I
you're
would-
raising our hopes just to knock us down.
I'll make you guys some rum old fashions
Okay.
after this.
Well,
Preview for next week's 90s
They
Percentile.
say-
I couldn't believe Lani came and didn't bring us nothing.
Dang it.
they say it's the thought that counts. It's not true. It's
not true.
We
It's not
really
true.
wanted some cupcakes.
Yeah.
For what it's
sorry.
worth, I had the thought.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
Lani, this is your second time appearing on the show. It'll be your last time appearing on the show.
Yeah,
So,
you blew it.
I was worried about that.
but your first episode that when you were on, you were here in our first 10, I think, right?
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
early on.
Is that what we're calling him? The first
The
10?
first 10. Yeah.
The what's the first 5 books of the Bible? The Pentateuch.
The Pentateuch, yes.
So what would
the
10 be? The
Pentateuch.
Decateuch.
The Decalogue, probably.
All right, the Decalogue.
But that was one of our most popular episodes, I'll say.
No way.
I think it has to do probably with you
Of course, that's what
and
I would assume.
our engaging conversation about the board game Crossfire.
Yes.
Which most people as soon as they think of when we say we have a 90s podcast, they immediately you haven't done Crossfire?
It's really
You
funny.
talk about Crossfire?
That
It's
is always the gut
that
check.
was one of our first episodes.
And of course, you were like, I don't know what that is.
Well, that's the whole thing. I was like, I sat here, I was so excited to do this, and then we
Yeah.
got that topic, and I was like, I don't know what this is, other than a
Right.
commercial that I wasn't marketed for.
Yeah,
Well,
but it was still a great conversation
It
anyway.
was.
A great episode, so listen to
And
it if you haven't.
if you didn't catch that episode, where would people know you from?
Well, I host a late night variety show called Late Night with Lani at the Pit Loft. I've been doing that for the last year.
So you're the queen of improv, I would say, in the New York scene. Is that fair to say?
I don't
You're giving me
think
a
that's
look that
fair.
would say, yes,
You
absolutely.
were just telling us off air that you are the funniest person to ever enter show business, and that
You were like,
yeah.
Lucille Ball? Lucille, suck a dick. I'm
Yeah.
better than you.
I mean, it's amazing. When I'm off air, I have an ego that is through the roof.
Yeah,
but
it's insane.
But
now
on
that we're
air, it's all
recording this,
so humble and modest. I would have brought cupcakes.
Meanwhile, outside, she was like, I'm eating all the cupcakes. They're for me.
They're only for the funny.
not for these scumbags.
the truth is, I just shoveled 3 in my mouth before I got here. Yes.
Yeah, so you should definitely check out Late Night with Lani. But
yes.
there's a new show too.
Yes.
That is true. I have a new show. My very first solo show I've ever done is going to be premiering at SoloCom on November 20th. The festival is from the 17th to the 20th. I have the very last slot of the festival.
Okay, wow.
So you're the
closer.
headliner. You're the
headliner,
I
yeah.
guess you could
Everybody,
call it that.
everyone
yeah.
else
Right.
is opening up for you.
It's true. There's
Yeah.
3 days of openers, and then me at 9:00 o'clock on
Boy,
Sunday.
there's a lot of preparation involved.
Lot
These
of
3
undercuts.
days of openers.
So I'm assuming Solocom is all jokes about the Star Wars character Han Solo, right?
Yeah.
Am I
No,
wrong?
Jack. It's more of a drinking competition where they're
They're
using
all
these red
solo
cups.
cups. Okay, yeah.
It seems like you guys don't know what Solocom
Oh,
is.
we're wrong?
No.
Yeah.
It's not the cup for the Star Wars thing?
But it sounds like maybe a new festival will be made with taking the name after
I
that
think
because
so.
I feel like there'd be a lot of interest
Jack,
there.
we could run Han Solo Con
with flip cup.
with flip cup.
With Star
yeah.
Wars, like
Absolutely.
McDonald's memorabilia cups.
Han Solo Cup. Is
Oh,
that something?
That's something. I think there's a country song called Han Solo
I
Cup.
think there might be.
Go ahead and pitch that, guys.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna take it to take
so
the world
what
by
is
storm.
the quote unquote real Solocom all about?
Yeah, Solocom is the Pit, the People's Improv Theater of New York. They host it. It is the only New York City solo fest or all new solo festival is what they call it. So every single show in the festival has never been done before. At least
Okay.
that's the conceit that this is where people premiering brand new solo shows. They're generally comedic. There's also room for like dark comedy and stuff like that, but it's a comedy festival. And they're all one-person shows. So they range from 30 minutes to an hour.
What's yours?
Mine's 30 minutes. And what is it called?
No, is that you answered correctly?
What a classic Jack trap. What is it? Can you answer my riddle?
I was like, what is yours? I was like, this was my moment to pitch, and I just said 30 minutes.
No, but that was going to be my follow up.
Okay.
Don't fall for his riddles, though.
It's
Don't
what we
believe
call
his
in the
lies.
biz a smooth transition that's gone horribly awry.
Oh, yeah.
God.
So what is the show,
So the
Lani?
show is called The Britney Network.
The Britney Network.
The Britney
Okay.
Network. So it is Britney Spears is launching her very own television network.
Okay.
And it is going to be her premiering it. So she's going to introduce the network to the audience. And then we're going to see different of the stars, headliners who are doing shows on this network. So it's,
On the network itself.
yes, it's like an Oprah Winfrey's own.
Gotcha.
But now
That's-
Britney
that's
has
hilarious.
one.
So you are playing Britney and all of the characters?
and all of the characters on
Oh.
her show. So there's going to be like a few like she has very much about what I imagine Britney Spears' interests are.
Sure.
Which is healthy eating and fitness
Sure.
and remakes of old classic movies.
Okay.
Do you
That's
do
what's on it.
do you do a mean Britney Spears? Do you have a?
I have a Britney Spears impression. I
Are
wouldn't
you
call
saving it for the show? Can we get a glimpse?
A little
Can
tease?
you hit us, baby?
Hey y'all,
just
it's
one
Britney.
That's pretty good.
I talked
She's
over
got like
you.
a very.
She's always saying it's Britney.
I talked over. Give us one more.
Hey y'all, it's Britney.
There you
She
go.
threw bitch in there. Remember that song she had where it's Britney, bitch? I think it was Give Me
Will
More.
I Am?
Yeah, that
It's
one.
Britney, bitch.
There you go. Oh my
There you
God,
go.
Miss Spears, where did you come from?
Oh,
Goodness
I'm
gracious.
working
Where's our cupcakes?
Yeah.
All right, so
Sorry,
that's when is that? That's November 20th.
November
you said?
20th, 9 p.m.
So
And
if
that'll
you're-
be in the Pit Theater in New York City.
Yes, it's at the Pit Loft.
the Big Apple, the Pit Loft.
So it's
if you're
the
in
one
New
on
York,
29th Street.
Go
Gotcha.
see it. You can't remote in like our horrible remote guests.
It's like those trash bags. God. And Lani, the whole show is improvised? Is it or is it?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay, good.
I'm writing it. I've been
Okay,
writing
good.
it for a long time.
Okay, good. Because I was going to say, holy shit, this is a lot to take on if it was all improv. But okay, good.
Hell
so
no.
I'm glad that is the case. Okay, good. So welcome back to the show. Things have changed since the
Yeah,
last time
we
you were
did.
on.
We're not going to force a topic on you. All right,
Yes.
actually, we should say I'm pretty sure it was
It was-
your.
it was because of you.
It was because of your complete lack of knowledge of the board game Crossfire.
Well, hey now. Don't
I
throw
saw
under
the
the bus.
commercial. I knew something.
Yeah, she got into it.
Yeah, but we felt bad. We felt bad that we kind of took away your safety net.
Well,
It's
we
very
realized
sweet.
bringing on a guest, we should probably talk about something they know at least the first time
At
they're
least
on.
once. Give
At
them-
least one time. So, as their guest tonight, you have not had your right to choose a topic. So today you can choose a topic, or you can jump right back into the random topic generator. It's entirely up to you.
Well, I do have a topic I would like
Okay.
to talk about.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
so
and
here we
it
go.
is first as payback for Crossfire because I knew
Okay.
nothing about it. So I
Uh-oh.
thought maybe I could bring something in that I might know more than
Touche.
you guys about.
Uh-oh.
Touche.
I'm excited. I'm a little scared, though.
Well, also, you guys should have a clue because I'm also here to promote my show. So
Okay.
I want to talk about Britney Spears.
Here we go.
Well, joke's on you.
It's Britney,
Be-
bitch.
Me and Dan. We have a Britney Spears fan
Huge
club.
Britney Spears fans.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Oh,
We're-
baby,
we're-
baby.
we're Brit
How
boys.
was I
Well,
supposed
to know?
That's something.
All right, for the next 60 minutes, we could just do
I'm just
covers.
gonna sit back and watch.
Karaoke.
I'm gonna chew my ice cubes and
Show me. All right, I'm going to stop. All right, Britney Spears is our topic. So, Britney.
She became famous in '98 when we were freshmen in high school.
Yes.
I actually remember, I think the first time I had heard of her or heard of guys talking about her, because we went to an all-boys high school.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
So she was quite the hot topic in the day.
In art class, which was my second semester of freshman year, when I was a young boy blossoming into manhood.
Not yet a man.
Not yet
There
a
was,
woman.
there was flowers blossoming from parts of my body that had
Sure.
never blossomed before.
You really don't need to keep going into detail on this
You need
one.
to either go to a doctor or a gardener if you're having flowers blossoming.
When I was 15, I had sex with Swamp Thing, and a little flower actually grew out of my skin. That's a very obscure reference.
Man,
Lani.
I love A, the idea that you had sex with Swamp Thing, and
At
B,
15.
the idea that Swamp Thing is a pedophile.
Well, it's a
Swamp
plant.
Thing,
It's okay.
Is it okay to have sex with underage boys?
If you're a plant,
Okay, I guess the rules don't apply to Dr. Alec Holland.
But there's also weird repercussions because then you get flowers growing out of
Yeah.
you. So
Yeah,
I guess that's kind of a benefit.
So is that like an STD, like a seed transmitted disease?
God,
Terrible.
that's horrible.
That was awful. I'll see myself out, guys.
It's okay.
All right, so Britney Spears,
Britney
yeah,
Spears.
she came to prominence. Her first album actually came out in '99. It seems like. I think it was-
99 would be the second semester of freshman
Right,
year.
second
yeah.
semester of our freshman year.
It
of
was
high school.
very early in '99. I did
Yeah.
read the Wikipedia on my way over.
Okay,
Just to be
I'm looking
ready.
at it right now.
Okay, perfect.
But she was around before that because she was a Mouseketeer in the same class as what was it, Justin Timberlake? Was she on
Ryan
with Ryan
Gosling.
Gosling?
And Christina Aguilera.
Ex-Tina.
And there was
Carrie Russell.
Carrie Russell,
Oh.
and there was another guy
They all did well for
who
themselves.
didn't go anywhere.
Oh,
and
never
then
mind.
he was on The Voice. And I remember I think it was the first season because I think that was the only season of The Voice I actually watched.
Sure.
And he sings. And they're doing like the Voice. You know, it has all like these pre-interviews with Carson Daly.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
like, it is gonna be a big surprise for Christina Aguilera. I was one of the original Mouseketeers with her. And it turns around and she hits the button or whatever, and it's the big reveal. And he's like, it's me, huh? And she's like,
wow.
"Ah."
It's
Do you remember him?
And he's just like, yeah, I forget his name now. And he's like, it's me. And she goes, oh yeah, of course. And I think he made it. I think he made it to like the top 2 or 3. He might have won.
Okay.
I don't remember. But I remember he did a cover of 99 Problems. He did like a
weird.
folky cover. Well, somebody else did a real
I
cover
remember
of
that.
And
Yeah,
he
yeah,
did
yeah.
a cover of that.
I remember that.
Yeah, I just remember he was like the non-famous one from that group.
Sure. Well, that's a bummer. I hope that he has gone on to bigger and better things. Although none of the Voice winners seem to like actually do
I couldn't
anything.
tell you any of
I
them.
beg to differ.
Yeah.
It's really funny if like you got The Voice, you got America's Got Talent, you got American Idol.
Sure.
Yeah.
Obviously, these aren't our favorite shows. You could come in 15th on any one of their dozens of seasons.
Right.
You've got a career. We don't know who they are. We can't name them, but they're performing.
Well,
This is their job now.
Yes, you've got a career, but I feel like Kelly Clarkson, won the first season of American Idol. She's still like a name.
yeah,
Like people
yeah.
know who Kelly
Yeah.
Clarkson
No,
is. She's very famous.
There's legit winners. There's legit celebrities that came out
Right.
of it. But like this guy, you're like, oh, who knows where he went.
Right.
He's right now. He's doing something. He's getting paid. Might not be a lot, but he's
He's
getting,
doing his art
Yeah.
as a career.
and he's
Probably got a lot of Twitter followers out of it.
He's
probably got more than us.
He's
so
probably
that's
earning
probably good.
High 5, 6 figures. So
Yeah. So
Good
Britney
on
Spears, former Mouseketeer, her hit song, "Hit Me Baby," Uno More Timeo,
that was
came
it.
out in 1999. That was her first hit, right?
It was
Yeah, yeah.
It was
Yeah.
it was a Spanglish crossover.
It was. It was actually a promotional song for the film Spanglish that came out several years after that.
Very, very quick tangent. I just watched this
Spanglish?
morning. No, the Sylvester Stallone 1994 movie, The Specialist.
Okay.
So we actually talked about Stallone 90s films, and this was, it was a hit. It wasn't, it's not like one of the first ones you would think of, but it was a hit. But it's not a huge
Right.
movie.
Sharon
But
Stone, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
But apparently, this was the movie that the Gloria Estefan song "Turn the Beat Around" was
What?
written for.
Really?
Well, it's a '70s song, and this was the first time she did a cover of it. And it was obviously a huge hit. It was a #1 single, and it was
Yeah.
from the Specialist soundtrack.
I did
Oh
not
my
know
God.
Isn't
that.
that crazy?
Well, saving that for the end of the show because I just learned something today. Yeah, Britney Spears never really did movie tie-in songs, did
No,
she?
I disagree because
no?
all right.
For Crossroads, I guess she must have done a song.
No,
right?
Well, I'm Not a
Crazy.
Girl, Not Yet a Woman, and Crazy,
Oh.
which was part of Drive Me
yeah,
Crazy.
Drive Me Crazy,
you're
That
right.
was from her first album.
Okay,
And
I'm
I know,
totally wrong.
and I have Crazy burned into my DNA because
drive
so
me
what would I?
crazy.
When would that? I guess that would also be like, it was the summer between freshman year and sophomore year for me in high school.
Yeah, it
the
was
summer
from
of
her first
99.
album, but
Yeah.
it was the third
Right.
single.
Right.
So yeah,
So it took some time. So okay, so I had never dated a girl. I'd never been with a girl. This was before I had internet, so I hadn't even like started to craft my flirting skills, with talking to girls online. And I was hanging out with the neighbor kids. It was like some summer day, and the girl across the street had a friend who was over. And we're all like doing our thing, sitting in a circle, talking about kid things. I don't know what we're doing.
Sure.
But basically,
Marbles
All,
and-
you know,
Marbles?
we were talking about marbles.
Just get that new marble.
oh no, man, I was looking for that one.
Yeah, so we were just like real deep into some like good marble talk.
Yeah.
And no, and
Would you say it was Marble
I don't know.
Madness?
I don't know if this
Stop it,
was
stop
Marble
it.
Madness.
I'm done.
would
I'm
say
done.
that.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if this was with you guys, but with my groups of friends, basically, when they would find somebody, especially at that age, who hadn't like hooked up with a girl yet or dated, they would
Yeah.
kind of just like bully them into doing it. It was just like, oh,
Ooh.
you got it. You know,
That's
you
a
got
boy
you,
thing.
That's a
sounds
boy
like.
thing
yeah,
for sure.
You
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
hook
yeah.
up with this girl. You know, you're gonna meet her under the tree at 6 o'clock, and 2 you're gonna make out.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think it was just a boy thing, because the girls were doing it the same
Well,
thing.
no, the thing is, like, I feel like from the girl's perspective, at
She's
least
like,
in
oh, I
my
gotta make out with this nerd.
no, it was like if any girl had like done anything like that, it would be like, oh, what was it like? What happened? Like, where did you put your hand? It's
Yeah.
like kind of the reverse. Like they bully you because you have it,
Yeah,
and we're
yeah.
just like fascinated by the girls who have
Right,
and
right,
want to.
yeah.
Like,
That's
moment.
interesting.
very supportive.
That's
I'm
true.
learning
We
a lot
just-
about gender dynamics right now. This is
Girls have it harder. Girls are nicer than boys. What?
yeah. What?
Well, only when you're young.
Teenage boys are assholes. I've never heard this before.
So anyway, this wasn't specifically one of those like we're gonna make you make out, but basically like it was actually more than that. They basically go, you want to be boyfriend and girlfriend? And I was just
Whoa.
like, yeah. It's like, sure. And he goes, okay, you guys are now dating. You guys are boyfriend and girlfriend. I think
Society has
I don't
dictated
think
you
it
two
was
are now
totally-
dating.
I don't think it was totally out of the blue. There must have been like some kind of. We added the group dynamic. We had hit it off. I had some funny marble jokes and
Yeah, right.
But anyway, like you guys should be you guys in? I'm serious. I like. She's not going to say yes unless you really commit. And I was like, okay. And I actually remember she goes, so what's your AIM handle? Your AOL handle. And this was a few months before I had internet.
This was
And-
before Sissy Go.
and then, exactly, this is it. So I said, I don't have one yet, but when I do, it's gonna be Psy Psycho 0611. So I told her that this was before people were pronouncing it Sissy Go. And
Yeah, right.
But I actually remember months in advance I had a plan. I was like, it's gonna be Psy Psycho. Anyway,
Wow.
so she gave me her beeper number.
Okay.
So-
Okay.
Wow.
Beepers were around.
You just dated
So
yourself.
she was just like, yeah, give me a beep and we'll make plans.
Give me
to,
a beep.
to like meet up and make
Impossible
out.
stuff
Yeah.
here.
And I was so nervous. I just like I didn't know what I was like I don't know how to kiss a girl. I don't know what to do. And I was like I don't like talking to people on the phone. I still don't. you
Yeah.
know. And I'm just like oh man I don't know. I'm gonna have to call her. So I go home that night. It was a night where my mom had stayed out late, so like the house was pretty much empty. That's why I was hanging out with my friends. And a commercial for Drive Me Crazy came on. And it was with Adrienne Grenier and
Melissa Joan Hart.
Melissa
Yep.
Joan Hart. And the song is playing, and the song's really catchy. And I was like really hyper and like really nervous, and I couldn't sleep. And I remember that like for hours that night, I was lying in bed with Drive Me Crazy playing on a loop. Like
Right.
in my head, and
This girl was driving you crazy, man.
yeah, and like I like my imagination was running wild. I was like, oh my god, she's gonna be my girlfriend. We're gonna get married. We're gonna do all this stuff. And so to this,
What will our kids look like?
yeah, no. So to this day, when I hear those chords that drive me crazy, I remember like lying on my back in my bed, like nervous as fuck. Like,
Wow.
Wow.
that's why it reminded me of that. And if you want to know what happened is, I tried once or twice to beep her, and I couldn't figure out how to do it, and I never saw her again. So
She's still out there waiting for Sissy Go to
technically we
sweep her
never-
off her feet.
technically, we never broke up. So
Yeah,
technically,
so-
she's still my girlfriend.
Oh no.
So you're living in sin.
And I did tell everybody that year when we came back from to school. I did tell everybody I had a girlfriend over the summer.
Right. Technically, it's
Yeah,
not
true.
right.
Yeah, no,
Still
you
true.
did. But this is part of the reason why I also love Britney Spears so much is because, like, I mean, she exploded onto the scene.
Right.
Like, from nothing, like, no knowing who she was into being, like, the, like, most...
megastar.
Megastar.
Yeah.
And so, like, her music is so prevalent. And, like, I feel like for a lot of people, like, our age, they're always during, like, it happened during very formative years. Like,
Yeah,
sure.
I was still a kid. I was, like, 8 years old. But, like watching her whole, like, legacy was, like, kind of me growing up with her. And, like, and just like that. Like, you saw, like, you were going through something very specific as a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
And you have this song ingrained in your head as that. And, like, her songs were that huge that, like, we can kind of place her songs into, like, different parts of our life, which I think is so unique.
They were the songs of, maybe not the generation, they were the songs of that time period.
Yeah.
Because up until the Hanson Spice Girls and then the Britney boy band thing, the go-to top 40 music was rock.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
Right. Early 90s, it was grunge.
It was grunge. Before that, it was new wave rock.
Yep.
Rock was it.
Hair metal.
Pop songs weren't the dominant genre until pretty much Britney and, you know, a little bit before that with Spice Girls and Hanson.
Yeah.
So that, like, Britney's songs are the songs of 1998 and
Right.
1999.
No,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
that's so interesting.
Yeah. So you're clearly a big fan, Lani. Is that fair to say?
Yes, I actually have had like a coming back to becoming a fan.
Okay.
Recently, like within the last 2-3 years.
Right.
I every now and then, especially because of YouTube, get sucked into things and like. I was in a play like 2 years ago. It was like a really weird play in a festival. It was like really small, really short. But I was playing Britney Spears. And so I started watching all of these YouTube videos like over and over. Like, and I started being like, whoa, she's so fascinating, like tracking all the different parts of her. Because when I was a kid, I really loved Baby One More Time, and I really loved Oops, I Did It Again. I would actually reenact those videos in my bedroom, and that's one of the first times I
Okay.
started acting in my life.
What did your
I wanna
parents say
talk
when
about those
you asked
videos.
when you asked for a red vinyl suit at 9 years old? What did Santa say?
That's pretty great.
Actually, this is a fun fact. I was really into Sheryl Crow right before Britney Spears, and I was
Okay.
just reading Britney Spears' Wikipedia. And when she first got signed, she wanted her music to be like a younger Sheryl Crow.
Aw.
But then the music producers were like, "No,
No,
you're doing
no.
pop."
It's not gonna work. We're
Yeah.
gonna sell you.
Yeah.
Pop star.
But hey, it's not a random act of fate that she became as big as she is. Those songs are really
Oh, they're
catchy.
great songs.
Yes, they're
Yeah,
great
for
songs,
sure.
and they're also like they're made in a lab. They're like to
Yeah.
the T, very going for a very specific thing.
It was like the moment. I mean, songs had been made in a lab before that. It was like the moment they finally nailed, like they perfected
They perfected the
formula.
pop
Yeah.
formula, yeah.
Right.
And especially when you have these really good songs coming out of this. I think she was only 17 in 1999,
Yes.
or
And
maybe
she-
even 16.
Beautiful.
She was born
Very,
in
very-
81. So
A good-looking lady, and you know the video for "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time." She's dressed in a schoolgirl outfit. It's very, very
it's- was
sexually
was Britney's
charged.
idea also.
Really?
To be in a schoolgirl outfit.
Okay,
Now,
I didn't
it's
know
okay
that.
for us to like it because we were
Well,
blossoming
at the
young
time,
men.
we were younger than she was.
But it is really creepy to think of people
But now,
older than us.
oh yeah,
Oh,
very
yeah.
weird.
Like, you're-
and even watching that video now is weird.
Yeah.
because
she doesn't
she's
seem
a girl.
She doesn't even seem 17. She
Yeah.
seems. I mean, I guess it's because we're older. She
Yeah.
just seems like not even like a teenager, like a preteen.
Yeah,
Like, she seems
yeah.
young.
It's crazy. Yeah, I'm
it's
always
really-
shocked at how young Britney Spears is. Like
Yeah.
she's only 4 years older than I am.
I'm
Yeah.
shocked at how okay it was to sexualize her.
Yeah, that is also like a very
Yes.
interesting thing in her saga. Because I actually remember going back to like because I loved her those two albums, but I started rejecting her come like Slave for You era. And
Yeah.
also Christina Aguilera was coming out. I think she came out during her second album of Britney's.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, this is the Britney who has a better singing voice. Because
Yeah.
I always really annoyed me that she had that big baby weird.
baby.
Baby, like
I
was
think you have a future in impersonating Britney Spears.
well,
so.
that's what I'm going for.
yeah. Your hours of YouTube research is paying
If
off.
only there was some sort of Star Wars themed convention that you could show off this skill.
Yeah. I mean, Britney, you're talking about the kind of the sexualization of her as a young girl. I think that very clearly had side effects because Britney
Yeah.
Spears went through a pretty dark time in the
Yeah.
2000s. Yeah, I mean, well, maybe you don't know if you aren't aware. Maybe you're very, very young and you don't even remember this stuff. Like in 2006, 2007, she had like very public breakdowns. She shaved her head. She got married to Kevin Federline.
She also got married to Jason Alexander for a week.
Wait, really?
Weekend.
Jason
Yeah?
Alexander,
no,
like George from Seinfeld?
Another one with the
Oh,
same name.
there's a
I know, it's
childhood
not the
friend.
one you think of.
No,
Okay,
there
okay.
I thought we talked about this on air.
Maybe we
There's a
did.
really funny Weekend Update joke that I still remember to this day that
Sure.
Tina Fey and maybe I think Amy Poehler did it, where they said, Britney Spears this weekend, I think it was New Year's Day weekend, Britney Spears got married to childhood friend Jason Alexander. In other news, Christina Aguilera got eaten out by Newman.
I do remember you telling me that joke. That's pretty funny.
That was good.
That's pretty good.
That was on the Weekend Update.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you said now you've come back to liking her because I think basically she's been around for so long at this point that pop culture, society, the media, whatever you want to call it, kind of just got tired of bashing her. It just
Yeah.
kinda,
Well-
and she disappeared, and now it's okay to like her again because pretty much any connotations, whether they were good, bad, we move so quickly that they're just so distant in the rearview mirror. She can remake herself in any way she wants now.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like, and Lani, I'm curious to know if you agree, I feel like she has definitely struggled since her whole breakdown to come back and reach the same heights that she once had. Some of her music in the past 10 years or so has been really good, but I feel like you kind of said this before, that Christina Aguilera was the Britney Spears who could actually sing, and I feel like now... You know, she's not the young girl. She's not old by any means. She's 34. But she doesn't have the same cachet, I guess. And there's so many better singers out there that it's really tough for her to break through.
Yeah, no, and it's true, and that is kind of an ongoing joke in my show too. Is that
Yeah.
like everyone's always waiting for a Britney Spears comeback,
Sure.
whereas like she has a comeback every single
album is
year,
the comeback
which
album.
doesn't and like
You're very right.
And in my research, my video research of her, like
Yeah.
there's this one from like a few months ago where a person was like talking about her new album, which just came out this year, and just
See, I didn't even know she had an album come out this year.
yeah, I like it.
Okay.
But like so the interviewer was asking her, so do you consider this like your comeback? And she just like looked so offended, and she just goes, well, it's not my comeback because I never left. I've always been here.
Good answer on her. I mean, that's kind of a shitty question to ask
Yeah. It
somebody.
It really is. And I'm
Yeah.
sure after like now 7 years, or no, like almost 10 years of being asked this question.
Yeah.
She's basically been coming back since she was like 24, which is ridiculous.
Yes, which is. And it really sucks. She's still in a conservatorship, which blows my mind when I realize that still.
I don't know the nitty gritty details. Obviously any child star at that age is like has a tough time not getting all fucked up and getting drugs because you're still immature and you're being offered the world. So this is
Yeah.
why it happens
Right.
to most of them. I think another big thing has to do with who is in charge of you at the time, who raised you. And I don't know too much. I get the sense that her family was just not the best family to be also thrown into the spotlight with all this
Yeah.
money and power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
Too much too soon,
Yeah.
too young.
Well, I remember seeing a documentary, it was like a behind the music kind of thing, but like different about
next to the music.
maybe next to
The VH1 secondary hit.
around the music, in front of the music, in different places,
In the background of the tunes.
something like
Got
that.
the music over there.
I love to watch a show called Is That the Music Over There?
This
They
week,
just talk about
Britney Spears.
But they were talking about like before she was in the Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah.
She was going out to a lot of singing competitions, dance competitions, beauty pageants,
Sure.
and it seemed like they were speculating that their family didn't have a lot of money, and then
Right.
Britney, as like a 5-6-year-old, became like the money maker of the family.
Yeah,
and can you
wow,
imagine what
that's-
that would do to you?
That sounds
that's
horrible.
intense. That's
intense.
Yeah.
You
That-
better
that, like,
sing the song. We all starved to death.
Yeah, that, like
Right.
stage mom, but like to an extreme, like
Yeah.
horrible degree. Yeah,
it was like
that's
a lot
terrible.
of her father like didn't couldn't manage money very well, was like going from like job to job to job.
Right. So it seems like now she's in a good place. You know, I'm sure she's making a very nice living. She's still Britney fucking Spears
Yeah.
after all.
And I
she
feel
probably
like-
introduces herself that way, like I'm Britney fucking Spears.
It used to be I'm Britney, bitch. Now it's I'm
Yeah.
Britney fucking Spears, you fucking cunt.
Yeah. My comeback, I've been here for fucking years, bitch.
I never left.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like also what she's doing right now and having a residency in Las Vegas is
Yes.
the best thing that could have ever happened to her.
Yeah, I
That's
was going to
like-
bring that up.
Yeah, unless you're like really just want to be this amazing artist who's changing everything they do. You know, like Prince or something.
Beyonce.
Or Beyonce. Yeah.
Yeah.
A Vegas gig like that is just money in the bank. Like,
Right.
I was super excited. I was planning on going to Vegas to see Michael Jackson because he had 50 shows lined up he was going to do. He was literally rehearsing them the day he died.
Yeah.
That was going to be his comeback.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
That would've been good.
That's just, you go to Vegas and you do a set show every night. That's huge.
What a dream. Like, you worked this hard since you're 16, and now you can just stay in one place,
Right, no
raise
touring,
your
no
kids.
bullshit. Yeah.
Just have a life, and
Exactly.
you just do what you have been doing for 20 years.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. So I hope she's doing well.
I do want to bring about why I don't think her comeback has been huge in terms of relevance. Again, she's doing very well. She's doing great. But the fact
she's not as good as Beyonce.
The fact,
That's
well,
what it
Yeah,
is.
I mean,
the fact that people are still asking, when are you going to make your comeback, just shows that at least it doesn't matter what the facts are in anything. It's just about how you're perceived in the media. And the media says
Right.
she hasn't come back. Personally, I think it's because her music. I've listened to all her new music. I really like that type of pop music. It's one of my favorite genres of music, and all of her songs from all of her albums, since those first couple, I like them. They're all really good. They're just not the game-changing song. They're pretty much just doing what that Perfect Formula in 1998 is doing again.
Right.
And some pop songs, I really don't like pop anymore because
There's
they're
not a lot of
all still
innovation.
working off. Yeah. Some innovate in certain ways. The steel drums for some reason.
They're big.
You got your Bieber songs. You got your what was the Call Me Maybe. There's some songs that find something to tweak, and it becomes an earworm, and it's great. Her songs are pretty much just kind of more up to date. It's still Hit Me Baby more.
It's
of
the
a
same.
time.
It's the same style, but now maybe just different.
The lyrics
a different
are
coat of
different.
paint.
She certainly sings much. She's become very meta. Basically,
Yeah.
her songs are about how fame has fucked her up.
Right.
But for the most part,
Which
I
is a good
listen
way
to
to
these
go.
songs and I'm just like, this is fun. This is catchy. I'm glad I'm listening to the song, but
Yeah.
it's not digging its way into my brain the way. Piece of Me was the last song by her that I was like, oh my god, this song is the catchiest
All right,
song
so
ever.
so I've got a question for both of you. I'll go to Lani first. What is your favorite Britney Spears song? If you had to pick number one, what do you got?
It's like a tie, both from the same album.
Okay, I'll allow a tie.
Toxic and Every Time.
Toxic is 100% the right answer.
Yeah.
Toxic's a great
I'm
song.
not
That's my favorite
Undeniable.
song.
You're wrong.
I'm not
Yo,
crazy
Toxic
about it.
is a amazing song. I love that song.
I like it. I know. On a technical level, that's exactly what I'm saying. I like it's
You're toxic.
exactly. It's doing everything in the formula perfectly. I just for some
I think
reason I
that-
just don't emotionally I don't have to play it 30 times in a row.
Sure. So what's your favorite song, Jack?
I mean, Crazy is definitely top 3 because just the way
of the feelings you have attached to it.
and it's just really catchy.
I have a follow-up question,
Same
too,
with
so keep
Hit Me
thinking.
Baby. It's just there's just something so perfect about it as a pop song. And then, like I said, Piece of Me. I just love Piece of Me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my
like Till the
favorite
World
is
Ends,
obviously
so.
Toxic. I love Toxic. I also do like Gimme More, but that's
Oh, interesting.
I like that one.
Interesting choice.
But here's my follow-up question. What is the worst Britney Spears song?
Lucky.
Jack's voting for Lucky.
So viscerally disagree with
Annie's
you.
face exploded with rage.
Oh my god!
Wow.
If you don't like Lucky, that means that you It just means that you are not a teenage girl.
It
with
means
that
you don't
album
like
came
her
out.
personally.
It means you,
You son of a
hate
bitch.
me and every other girl in this world.
Well, I didn't want to bring it up on air.
Oh, okay.
But Jack is a raging misogynist.
No, I'm biased. It's a fine song. I hated it when it came out because I think it was her second album.
Yep.
And it's all about, it's so hard being rich and famous, which I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
But I'm just watching it like, fuck you. Like, fuck you. I hate that. It's like,
Well,
I don't blame you.
life is hard for me now as being poor and nobody.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take the rich and famous and also the misery. I'll take that
Sure,
too.
at least 'cause then you got the rich and famous
Like,
at
I'm
least.
just watching the song, and it wasn't, it's more of a minor key kind of like song, which at the time I didn't want that. I wanted upbeat, so I hated it when it came out because it wasn't what I wanted. On an objective level, the song is great.
So Jack has no taste.
Okay.
But Lani, what's your let's say least
Lucky.
favorite
Oh,
Britney Spears
Lucky.
song?
I'm thinking about Lucky and how much I love it.
I also hate Toxic.
No, you get the fuck out of here, Jack.
Stop it.
You're wrong.
Probably one of her not newer songs that I really like, Glory. But,
Slave? You said you hated the slave. You said you rebelled against.
oh wait, no, I know it. I know
I've
it.
got
It
one.
was not
Maybe it's
Slave.
what you just thought of, but what is it?
I don't know if you guys know it because it came off of her last album, Britney Jean,
Okay.
Perfume.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Like, she made a music video for it even.
Oh boy.
Is it
It's-
about perfume? Is it like you put me on your skin when you
Well, like
don't
one of my
shower?
least favorite things that's going on with Britney Spears' music videos these days is
Yeah.
their like product placement, like like shamelessly everywhere. And this one is about how I think she's having an affair with a man, and she wants the girl that he's with to smell her perfume on him.
Got it. Okay.
And-
Is perfume like literally like her perfume, or is it like a kind
mean,
of
there's
a weird, dirty like
a-
metaphor for her you know?
I mean, Britney is great at like innuendos.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you seek Amy,
Well, okay.
Oh shoot!
Let's talk about If You Seek Amy
Oh.
because
Because it's a horrible song.
No, it
the
is
actual
not.
song isn't that bad.
The idea of
the concept of a song called If You Seek Amy is terrible because it's
Go
so
on.
so bad.
What do you think of
Why is it
Blink-182's
bad?
"Take Off Your Pants and Jacket"?
When I was a high school teenager, I enjoyed it, but nowadays maybe it hasn't aged so
What do you
well.
think of Elvis Presley's "See You Next Tuesday"?
There's not a song "See You Next Tuesday" by Elvis Presley, is
I
there?
think so. I think you know, whatever.
Yeah,
You
okay.
get the joke.
But yeah, it's if you seek, like if you're looking for Amy. But obviously, she's spelling out F-U-C-K.
Yeah, no, it's terrible.
Me. Awful. I hate it. I just think it's the, you said that she's good at innuendo. I would agree, and that is just
That's
like
not innuendo. That's
I mean,
just
no,
that's just text.
that's just fun. But that's the thing. Like she like has like these cheeky things where it's like I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that.
Right. That's
like,
that's,
and that's what I think
don't
is so
like.
fun.
That's what I do not like. I don't like the ain't I a stinker face
Yeah.
of like
Yeah.
just being like if you seek Amy, I didn't say the bad thing. I'm saying
I'm
something else.
Like, hey, let your kids listen to that because it's so obvious.
Right. It's just
You want to have
But
at
the-
least a little
and the
bit
actual
innuendo
song
so you can
isn't
go,
bad.
oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
the actual
song is
song's
fun.
not bad. I realize I really like Womanizer too. Like
Yes.
the
Yeah.
late not 2010s, right before the 2010s Britney Spears. I like a lot of
Yeah,
those songs.
Till the World Ends.
That was on Femme Fatale, I think, which was a really good album.
Yeah. By the way, apparently she had a
a
song on the Smurfs 2 soundtrack called Ooh La La. I don't know that one.
Yeah.
Ooh la la.
But it,
Ooh la
Ooh
la.
la la, Bema, ooh la la.
oh, that does sound familiar.
Sounds
Yeah.
horrible.
It's a weird one. She has in that music video. She has her kids with her,
Oh boy.
but
What are
she's
they now,
also
like
like saying,
12?
"I want you to make me ooh la la." So it's like,
Ew.
Oh, I remember that song. That's not a good song. I don't like that. Maybe that's also in the If You Seek Amy camp.
Ugh.
fair.
Ugh.
But that one, it charted. The highest Ooh La La charted was number 54. And I just want to point out, Perfume 76. So
Oh.
one of her lowest charting
Told you,
hits here.
told you.
Just should've
It's
just
not
called
a
it
good song.
Woman Scent.
Yeah.
Would have been
She also
number one.
just she looks
Woman
tired.
scent.
Britney,
Yeah.
Britney during her Britney Jean like promotions and the videos. That was also during Work Bitch, which great song, really fun.
Yeah.
But like that was like the only kind of shining grace in that whole album and that whole like promotional thing. That's when I started getting really fascinated with her. I think that was 2
Sure.
years ago.
Yeah.
And she just looked like she was in a bad place then. Like she seems like she's in a good place now, but like
Yeah.
if she goes through these waves, that's fascinating. to
Yeah.
track.
Yeah, she's had an interesting career, and it's continuing. I don't know. Do we have more to say
Yeah,
about Britney
I want to
Spears?
talk about her live performances. So,
Yeah, we should talk about those.
I stopped going to concerts because, as I was telling Lani before we started recording, I go to bed at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's
I also
why
go to bed very early.
because I really want to see late night. But when you do like 2 p.m. with Lani,
Yeah.
I'm there.
Afternoon tea with Lani.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think it would be a big hit.
So
not gonna happen.
and I also just don't like loud noises. I don't like crowds.
I 100% agree
one
with
of the
you, Jack.
last concerts I went to was still in college, and it was a Saves the Day concert in like the Hammerstein Ballroom, which is one of the bigger venues for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like surrounded by people who were slightly younger than me, and I had one of my first ever panic attacks. I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
So I don't really go anymore. But when I did go, like I said, Hammerstein Ballroom to me is big because I was an indie guy. I liked indie rock. I went to Irving Plaza. I went to bars to see my favorite bands, and they were always just playing the songs on the stage. That was it. The biggest shows I went to,
Not much spectacle.
Yeah, exactly. There's no
Yeah.
spectacle. The biggest shows I went to were like with you, with like Godsmack, where it was like a decent sized arena, but they're
We
not.
saw Godsmack and Puddle of Mud with the
and
Deftones.
Deftones, and it was a much bigger venue than I was used to, but it was still they just got on stage and played their songs.
Sure.
So an ex-girlfriend of mine did worked on the Britney Spears tours doing merchandise, and she got
Really?
Oh, yeah. So one time I went and we were in the front row. I can't remember if it was the circus tour or if it was the one right after that. Do you remember
Okay.
what it was like? A candy? Was there like a candy tour or something?
Candy tour.
I think you just went to the candy store.
Well, I can't remember what it was. Anyway,
Femme Fatale was her album after
I think it
Circus,
might have been
Yeah.
the
so it
Femme
could have been
Fatale tour.
Yeah.
And it was one of the most fun, awesome experience I've ever had in my life. I was just like, I had never seen a concert that really had nothing to do with the music. It was just about the spectacle.
Right.
Yeah.
And being in the front row, it was really crazy. There was one moment where she picks a guy out of the crowd and puts him in a chair and gives him a lap dance.
Oh.
And she's like looking around and like I'm right there, and my ex is going like pointing, going, pick Jack. And I'm very shy, and I literally turned to her and I said, put your fucking hand down.
Why wouldn't you want that?
I was so nervous.
Wouldn't that be the dream of
Yeah.
teenage Jack, though, to get a lap dance from Britney Spears?
So she picked the guy like 3 guys next to me. As soon as she
Amazing.
starts giving him the lap dance, immediately regretted it. I was just like, this would have
Yeah.
been. So,
Yeah.
I did take
That's,
a
like,
picture.
iconic.
I did take a picture and like it was like her crotch up close. But like,
my God.
But like I regretted
Not even
it.
as
but
a sexual thing, just as the
yeah.
story
As a story
afterwards.
and
no,
the
I
experience.
really regret not trying to get her attention. I mean, who
Yeah.
knows? I still might not have gotten picked.
Right.
I was just in the moment. I was just like the idea of like 20,000, 30,000 like people just looking at me. I couldn't. I
mean,
couldn't bear it.
fair.
Yeah.
But I have to ask, how was she performing? Because that's something she's been getting a lot of scrutiny for lately.
She was okay.
Yeah.
She
all right.
does she use like a backing track or
Well, yeah.
one of those things?
I mean, she doesn't
Yeah.
really sing live. I
Yeah,
mean,
okay.
I'm sure she's
Remember
singing.
when that was like a
She
problem
was
and people
kinda-
like Milli Vanilli's careers were ended because they were using a lip sync track?
well, they weren't using
guess they-
themselves,
right,
their
they
own
weren't- it wasn't
voices.
even them,
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
even
them.
It's still Britney Spears singing, and yeah.
I think like literally like there was like, she was like supposed to strut down the stage and she's
Bounces.
she's kind of just like walking and like there was just there's no like phony in it. There's like no oomph to it. And I was
Yeah.
just like,
Maybe
she
you were
doesn't-
too close.
She doesn't care. Maybe that could have been it too. I could just see the wrinkles in her thighs as she would take a step. No.
Oh, stop.
Yeah.
No, but that's probably my biggest, the thing that causes me the most sadness about Britney Spears now
Sure.
is because before, like, again, in all of my video research, I would see like in her Baby One More Time tours, like her trying to sing along while she was dancing
Yeah.
and like struggling because it's like, it's hard to do.
Right.
And so I'm sure that was like partly why she started doing just like lip syncing, but she was such a good performer that like it didn't really matter. Like you always prefer performers to be singing live. And now like because of Beyonce, it's kind of necessary.
Yeah.
But like with Britney, like she didn't have to. But she was such a good dancer, and like the way that she was able to pull in the audience was always so much fun. Those VMA performances are iconic.
I was just going to bring up
Yeah.
the VMA performances. We should probably talk about those
Yeah.
in our Britney Spears app.
Like it's funny that you said she was inspired by Sheryl Crow because it sounds like even though she's good at spectacle, especially now that she phones it in or when she does phone it in, it seems like that's more what she should be doing. Like a Sheryl Crow.
Right.
Sheryl Crow is in spectacle. Sheryl Crow gets on stage and does the songs. It sounds like
Right.
almost that's what she wants to do.
Yeah, and she could dance, so they made her dance
Yeah.
and sing, and she's like, I
Oh, and
can't
now
do this.
now she's
like,
stuck. Like, you
and now
gotta
she's
dance.
stuck, and now it sucks because like now you watch her, and she's just kind of like going from like place to place, like in her cues and where her spots are, and she
Right,
kind
it's
of
all routine
It's
and
all
yeah.
I want her
routine.
next-
Especially if she's doing the same thing every night.
Her
which-
next tour should be the routine tour with the hit song "I Don't Want to Dance." It's just a sad ballad. I'm not lucky. I'm a star.
If you see gay me.
So, but what about her VMA performance?
So yeah, obviously she had a number. Well, maybe not obviously. I don't know who's listening to this. Maybe you weren't a teenage boy in the late '90s and you don't know that this was a very popular thing. But she did a number of VMA performances,
There's one with
Video
the
Music
snake.
Awards. She had the one with the snake. I think that was "Slave for You,"
Yep.
where she was like practically naked, just like very sweaty and oiled up.
Right
And,
before
she
that
had a
was when
snake.
her "Oops, I Did It Again," where she ripped
Right.
off her suit and had the sequence bodysuit underneath.
Yes,
which was
yes.
the first big whoa.
Yes, I remember that one. That was definitely a whoa
I
for
know
teenage
the
Dan.
big one would be sophomore year in college because we were actually watching the VMAs in my dorm, and it was the Kiss.
The Madonna
Yes,
Kiss.
that
and we
was-
were all like, ah!
Right, so
And
she
we-
did a performance with Madonna, and then at the end they had a little smoocheroo
Well,
with
it's
each
funny.
other.
Christina also did
It was
too,
with
but no one
Christina,
talks about
and
that.
yeah, and they as soon as she kissed Britney, and then she Madonna was in the middle. She makes out with Britney, and then turns and makes out with Christina Aguilera.
Right.
and she kisses Britney. We're all going ah. They cut to Justin Timberlake in the crowd, and he's
Yeah.
just like what. So they actually cut away, and you never actually see her kiss Christina Aguilera.
Really?
Which is
Oh.
funny because like that was kind of the whole point was to look what we're doing. We're so
Yeah.
we're so edgy. We got girls kissing.
Yeah.
and it's funny that they cut away from it.
I didn't even remember that Christina Aguilera was involved.
Because
Right.
So
they-
yeah,
yeah, because they didn't really show it.
but she's doing okay for herself these days. So
And also,
yeah.
what does it say about society where there's no reason for them to kiss? It was just like, look, we got Madonna lesbian kissing the next generation. She's passing the torch with her
Yeah.
tongue. It's like, man, we we're just like it's like the Colosseum in ancient Rome. We're just
I
like,
mean,
In a lot
this
of
was a
ways,
very-
pop music is very much like ancient
Yeah.
Rome. Yeah, this is not. You're not wrong. I
This
feel
was
like
a very weird time. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like Britney is gonna have to kiss like Ariana Grande or something and just like pass the torch again.
ew, she
weird
licks
would that be?
public donuts. You don't know what germs she's
Hey
got in her
man,
mouth.
I like Ariana Grande, but
I
whatever.
can't stand her.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know about her personally, but
that's a different podcast. I have a lot of thoughts on Ariana
Okay.
Grande too.
Join me on the Grande cast.
That's not really. Yeah, that's not a '90s thing at all.
no,
That's
not
when
at
she
all.
was born.
We do have a '90s Ariana Grande podcast where we just talk about what was she like as a baby.
What was she like as a fetus?
Remember when she was like gaga goo goo? Hey, stop shitting your pants. Stop shitting yourself.
Ariana Grande, stop shitting your
Wait,
pants.
you're gonna be rich and famous? You think you just poop anywhere? People clean it up? Fuck you.
No way. She was carrying that family. Yeah. So Britney Spears. What else we got?
Well,
I mean,
did you go to any of the live shows?
I had never did because I lost my faith. And I was like,
Oh.
I really like, I was really anti Britney, like from Slave for You on, and that like, I when Circus.
What was it about the Slave for You that you said? Well, how old are you? Like 14?
It was like 14.
and you just
no,
like-
no, I was not 14. I was that Slave for You was 2001, so I
that
was
sounds about right.
11.
So why did you suddenly?
so was it
become
just too much?
anti-Britney?
Because "Slave for You," I mean, it's a very provocative.
It's a very
song.
provocative song. I watched the making of the video on
Yeah.
MTV.
Sure.
I remember feeling. I mean, I was 11 years old, so it was like just on the brink of puberty, like feeling uncomfortable and like turned on, and like
Yeah.
and I didn't like the way I felt, and I was like, and I don't know if it was even specifically that video, but like. Christina Aguilera came out with "Dirty," I think that same
Sure.
year, and there was always a Britney versus Christina.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you have to be either this camp or this camp, and so like when Britney was doing "Slave" and then "Dirty" album came out, which is a great album also for Christina Aguilera. Like I started listening to that, and I was like, I'm Team Christina forever. I
Okay.
have to be. And it was less of a rejection of Britney and more of a I have to be on a team. So I'm
Yeah.
pledging to
Isn't that
Christina.
sad that we have to pick
We
teams?
always have to pick
know.
sides. You can't just like them both.
I can't just like Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. They're both really likable.
Oh.
Why can't I just?
Oh, boy, oh,
why
boy.
can't I just?
Wait,
both
when is
like
this
both-
coming out?
This will come out Monday before Election
Oh,
Day.
okay.
Before
So.
the world ends and
yeah.
Trump somehow pulls off a Brexit.
Boy, oh boy. By the way, Christina Aguilera from Staten Island. Just throwing that out there.
Is she from Staten
She's
Island? Wasn't she there
lived
for
on
like,
Staten
didn't
Island
she
for
like
like
her,
a day.
her truck
Okay.
break down
Yeah,
like
I
on the
think
Gothels?
On her way to superstardom, she was like, I got to stop at a dump, a literal
Know
dump.
that.
Yes, but yeah.
The live shows I would definitely recommend, especially if
I
you're.
know. I am definitely going to go to Britney Spears.
After the show, we were gonna
In
go
Vegas.
onto her bus.
Wow.
Well,
What?
her bus, big bus. It's like
Okay.
that's where the after party, the pre after party is.
Okay.
So we're waiting.
I've never partied on a bus.
So we're waiting outside where sometimes she comes out and signs autographs. We're waiting in the parking lot between the tour buses, but there's
Yeah.
a rope where you can either be on one side of the rope or the other. And the bodyguard, the bouncer, her personal bodyguard was good friends with my ex. That's why we got bumped up to the front.
Right.
So they put us on this side of the rope. So I'm literally like next to everybody else. There's just a piece of rope, and they're all like looking at us. They all think we're somebody. We're not.
Yeah,
And they're
you're
all
nobody.
So they're all looking at us like, Britney, and
That's
I'm
Jack from 90s Percentile.
in 5 years. And,
when we get time
I'm
machine.
literally as close as I am now, and it's just really awkward because again, I didn't want 20,000 people seeing me. I don't want 2 people seeing me.
Yeah.
Right.
And then this this like young, sickly, bald teenage girl in like a wheelchair rolls up,
God.
and she's just like, I just want to meet Britney. And she's like, do you think you guys could get us to see Britney? And we're just like, no.
Oh,
No,
Yeah.
me first, girl.
yeah.
Yeah, it was really awkward, and we ended up
Jeez.
not being able to get on the bus. She was just like going home or whatever it was.
Right.
So we went on a different tour bus.
Okay.
because there's like literally like a dozen of them. We went on like the
She needs
body
a fleet.
Yeah, we went on the bodyguards bus and hung out with like the bouncers and like drank soda.
That's
and
where
stuff.
the real party
Drank
is.
soda
Drinking
from the
soda
mini
with the
fridge. Yeah.
bouncers.
But they didn't. So they just see us being. They just see a bouncer like wave us and take
Right,
us to a
right.
bus.
Yeah.
And this dying girl is just like looking at us like. It's just,
Oh my God.
it's just
This might be
This
too.
is a really-
this might
yeah.
be too deep
It
for
was
our
horrible.
comedy
It was
podcast
terrible.
here. Yeah, it
I'm
sounds
sure she's
that sounds
fine.
horrible. I'm sure that she is
I'm sure
totally fine.
She pulled through.
Absolutely. Let's choose to think that. What else we got to say about Britney Spears? I mean, she's
There's
a super lady. I never saw the movie Crossroads.
I never actually did either, because
starring
that
the-
was
Okay.
when during my transition to Christina time.
I loved the song that tied into Crossroads, which was Crossroads by Cream. I went down to the cross. It came out in 1966, but they knew that there was going to be a movie in
course.
1999 called
That
Crossroads.
they wrote it for Britney Spears.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before she was even born. No,
Absolutely. I've never seen it. I
Isn't there
believe
somebody
it
in the
was.
cast who's like big now?
No, I believe it was written by Shonda Rhimes.
Oh,
who
is
now,
that it?
I think.
Why am I looking up Crossfire?
Oh.
Why are we always talking about Crossfire with Lanny?
Wow.
What is it? Crosstown?
Crossroads.
Crossroads.
It's
No,
the
is it-
Crosstown
That is a funny
Expressway.
connection, though. We have Crossfire.
Well, no, one of the
Crossroads.
Anson
Anson
Mount
Mount
is,
was in
is
it.
the
Yeah,
cowboy. He's like the
Right.
gritty
Hell on Wheels.
45-year-old
Oh.
cowboy from Hell on Wheels.
Hell on Wheels
No, one of the,
namesake.
It has
one of the,
1.5 stars on IMDb.
one of the two friends is somebody now.
Oh, Rosario Dawson was one of the friends. But yeah, Shonda Rhimes wrote it.
Oh, Zoe Saldana. That's it.
Oh, that's who it
Saldana.
is.
And also Taryn Manning.
Dan Aykroyd is in it. Justin Long and
Orange
Kim
is the New
Cattrall
Black.
are in it.
Oh, wow.
It's almost like it was a.
This was a huge
This
movie.
was supposed to be like her big start to having a huge Hollywood. She
Yeah.
was supposed to be
Yeah.
like an EGOT, basically.
Well, this was probably her attempt to transition. Like, I don't want to do the music so much. I want to be an actor.
This was supposed to be her
Like
transition
Madonna did
to,
a similar thing.
to pop culture everywhere, like just
Yeah, right.
dominant force. Didn't work out. Oh, Tara Manning, that's who I was thinking of.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Orange is the
Right,
New
right.
Black. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who directed the Crossroads? Actually, it came
Steven
out in 2002,
Spielberg.
by the way.
It
Oh, it was Steven
yeah.
Spielberg.
Well, it was originally Kubrick.
That's why there was that sequence with
Yeah.
ET at the end.
Kubrick,
Okay.
Kubrick died. Spielberg then redirected it
okay.
from his storyboards.
Wait, is Kim Cattrall her mom?
I guess. And this was like Sex in the City's
Doesn't
era.
say.
Kim Cattrall.
I
No,
think we need to do
oh,
one
no.
of your where you live sync the word when you
Sync
watch
Points.
it. Thank you.
A commentary series from We Studios.
Oh, Tamara Davis directed
maybe
it.
we should do it. Tamara Davis sounds
She's
familiar.
the wife of one of the Beastie Boys, isn't she? And
It seems like it. She directed Billy Madison and Half Baked.
Oh,
So that's
she's
an
doing
interesting
younger.
progression to Crossroads.
She's doing younger. That's interesting.
Very
a lot of
interesting.
TV credits.
A lot of TV credits nowadays, but yeah, she definitely did some Beastie Boys videos. it
I
sounds
want to
like.
say she's married to one of them. I think one of the ones that is still alive. By the way, the dying person with cancer in the Britney Spears parking lot was.
It was oh no.
Which one died?
I forget which Beastie Boys died.
Oh,
She's married
husband
to
of
Mike D.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mike D is one of the alive ones, right?
I think so.
I think it was Ad Rock is the one that
Yeah,
died.
that was it. Ad Rock died.
Did you guys ever watch Entertainment Tonight around this era?
Da-na-na-na-na.
Yeah.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Yes, I
'Cause
did
this-
watch him. We have John Tesh live in studio performing the theme to Entertainment Tonight.
Hey guys, it's
Thanks.
me, John Tesh.
All right.
Because that's what I remember also most about Britney too, is that like you can't just focus on her music, because also like she was just everywhere on TV.
Yes.
Like
let's talk about that a little bit, because
Yeah.
she was probably one of the first like paparazzi celebrities.
Yep.
Like before TMZ was a thing, like Britney was mobbed with people like constantly.
It was around in the 80s.
Not
that
nearly
culture.
as much, I don't think. I
Princess
feel like-
Di was killed
Yeah.
3, 4,
Well, that's
5 years
true.
before.
That's true.
No,
But I
one-
feel
guess
like
1 year before.
I feel like Britney did bring it up to another level, though. Like there was such a demand for Britney content.
I think
Yeah.
what Britney changed wasn't the fact that there was demand. The demand was always there. It was this weird. We were almost not we, but like again, whatever you want to call it, media, society, pop culture.
Sure.
We were kind of rooting for her to fail. We,
Oh, yeah.
we were like waiting
In a
for her
in
to
a way,
shave her
yeah.
head and break down. And when it happened, we said, "See, we told you so." It was really
Yeah. So
disgusting.
I mean,
horrible, yeah.
society's awful. Is
We really
essentially
are.
what it is.
It's
we,
why
we
we're
love to
assuming
bring
Trump wins tomorrow.
Yeah, we bring celebrities up and then we laugh when they fall.
Yeah.
and-
Schadenfreude.
Yeah, we're terrible people.
what was that? No, there was that
so
interview.
Brittany, I apologize on behalf
we
of
should
society.
all apologize to Britney.
Yeah, can we all let's give a unison "I'm sorry" on behalf of the world. Basically, we speak for the world.
I think 90s
That's what
Percentile has
we-
always spoke for the
well,
world.
We Studios. The "we" is short for "We Are the World."
We are the world, right? Most people don't know that. Yeah.
So on 3, let's just give Britney Spears a big heartfelt "I'm sorry."
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
1, a 2, a 3.
I'm
sorry.
Brittany.
We're sorry, Britt.
Bitch.
Yeah, because that interview that who was it? Like the Diane Sawyer or something? Like right after she broke up with Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Like grilled her. Did you cheat on him? Are
Oh,
you
boy.
a virgin? Is this real? And she just started breaking down because of course you would. She's like
Yeah,
19
yeah,
years
yeah.
old.
That-
like that's disgusting
Nobody
that we
should
did
nobody
that.
should be in the spotlight going through those like everyday human emotions that almost all teenagers go through.
Imagine
Yeah.
being 19 years old when you first like you broke up with like your boyfriend, your high school boyfriend.
Sure.
If you did lose your virginity, if like any of that stuff happened, and
Yeah.
then have it be like on
And then have your
camera.
ex-girlfriend
Public
point
eye.
and say,
Grilled on it?
"Hey, everybody, look at him!" And shut up! No,
Shut up! Put your goddamn hand down. Yeah, it's horrible, and I think hopefully now she's pretty well adjusted. It seems like she's doing okay.
I had a fantasy. I just remember. I completely forgot about this. I had a fantasy. So
dear.
when I would walk to
Do
school,
we want to hear about this,
No,
Jack?
it's not
Is it a
gross.
Britney
It's not-
Spears fantasy?
It is, but
Okay.
it's not gross.
Okay.
I basically, when I would walk to school listening to music on my Walkman, if I had a song, I would play something in my head, like something that go with that song.
Right.
And I had this song. I won't say what it is because it's really embarrassing. But I always envisioned that me and Dan had a sketch group, and I always envisioned that sketch. We wanted MTV to buy it.
Right.
We were big Tom Green fans, and I envisioned at some point soon we would be famous and we'd be on it. Like we would be MTV like C-level stars.
Who knew it would
And I
take
was-
90s percentile
yeah.
to launch us
So
into the stratosphere?
I had this fantasy of getting on TRL and somehow I would start dating Britney Spears, and at some point
Wow.
I would do this like really wacky, funny karaoke sing along, and then propose to her live on TRL, and we would become like the next Hollywood's like big couple. me
Most
and
teenage
Britney.
boys
Wow.
weren't going this far with their Britney Spears
Yeah.
fantasies.
No.
But go on. But go on.
It involved like an overflowing washing machine, and there were suds everywhere. And I was like slipping on the suds, like, look at Jack, he's so wacky. He slipped on the suds, and then I'd like slip onto one knee and be like, "Will you marry me?"
I really wish that we had been rich and successful and on MTV, and you try this with the suds, and you slip and you crack your head.
And I didn't even.
which is clearly what would have happened,
Besides
Jack.
her being extremely attractive, I didn't even have that deep of a crush on her. It was just that she was the pinnacle of fame, and to me, it was like, oh, well, obviously,
Yeah.
we would be the
Right.
Spencer Tracy, Katharine Hepburn.
Of course.
She was just this
of the
magnet.
MTV set.
She was like a magnet. Everyone was looking at her. She's for
Yeah.
some reason has this X factor about her that you
Yeah.
just can't
Yeah.
stop looking at her and thinking about her.
This is not 90s, but since we're talking about Britney Spears, this is the only time it's going to come up. I have to talk about Kevin Federline.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
say
So
Kate
she married K-Fed. I kind of love Kevin Federline,
What?
and I kind of love the song Popo Zao that he put out.
I don't know what
And
any of that is.
That's okay. Can we get this on the YouTube?
I
He
don't
is
even know
a
how to spell it. What is it?
Popozao.
He's
In
just
Portuguese,
so
it
slimy.
means-
I'm,
it means
how
bring
do
your
you
ass.
like? He was
I-
what like spiraled
So-
her down the drain.
He seems like a trash person,
Yeah, you could call him the Yoko Ono for Britney. You know,
but not.
except break up a
that's
band
fine.
or anything. But like the downfall
Right.
of the pop princess.
Yeah, play this. This
I
is
already
Popo Zao.
hate it from the thumbnail
Oh,
of
I
the
just
YouTube
hate
video.
him.
He seems like a terrible person. This is there's the famous YouTube clip. This is the song, but there's the famous YouTube clip of him in the studio being like, "It's gonna be great," and he's like doing this head motions and like rocking out with it.
Before we play this and set it up, who is Kevin? How did he meet Britney?
He was a backup
Yeah,
dancer.
he was a backup dancer.
and he's just like some scumbag, like from.
Yeah, he was dating
Pretty
Shar
much.
Jackson, who was from a TV.
She was famous for something.
She was I know she I want to say the Cosby Show, but I don't know if that's
I
right.
don't
But she was an actress, and she was pregnant with their second kid when he broke up with her to date Britney. So
Yeah,
there's
I think Kevin Federline has like 7 children.
He does.
all with different pop starlets.
Britney's
Yeah.
kids are both his.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know that's why she's desperate to have more kids.
I think
Maybe
what he-
this song will
well,
change your mind about
I,
Kevin
let-
and I
Federline.
Play
think
it.
basically what he was doing was acting out my extremely juvenile, chauvinistic fantasy of Britney is famous, so I need to latch onto that.
Exactly.
Except he did it for real.
Yeah. So here's Popo Zao.
Should we skip ahead? Is it?
No. We should listen to every second of the intro.
Is he going to sue us?
No, I don't even think the song was ever released on an album. I don't even know.
Oh, it sounds like Britney.
It's pretty terrible.
It's got
Wait,
the,
this is kind
but
of fun.
it's
though.
got the
It's
Britney
endearingly
synths.
terrible,
It's
I
got the
think.
Britney synths though.
Wait till he starts rapping though.
Oh no.
I'm so happy we're listening to this.
Oh
In
my
Portuguese,
god.
it means bring ass on the floor. Yeah, I know all
This
the
is
words.
terrible. Why do you
I know all the
words?
words.
You hate listening to
Popo's
this?
out is very fun to
maybe
say.
hate listening. Maybe ironically, we don't have to play it
What's
anymore.
the context? When do you play? Do you play this in the car? You play this in the shower?
So okay, here's a real quick funny story about me. I will sometimes leave my computer at home on, and I will use Google Remote Desktop. I can remote into my computer at home,
to talk to your cats?
so I can access my computer at
Oh,
home and like get to
Uh-huh.
my files at home. And if I know that my wife is home, I will put the volume up real loud, and I will always play Popo Zao.
That's hilarious.
Because she
That's really
hates the
funny.
song so much. She hates that I like it so much.
Aren't you afraid she'll just like turn your computer off and then you can't get any work done?
Well, I don't like need it. Like I pretty much leave it on for this purpose.
That's really funny.
She
So,
probably
yeah.
hates that you love Kevin Federline too.
Yes, she does. She
yeah,
does.
Well, I
as
remember
a good person.
Again, we pop culture, America, whatever we want to call it.
Because there's nothing funnier to me than just my wife is home watching TV alone with
That's
the
hilarious,
cats,
yeah.
and all of a sudden, yo thing.
And you'd have to fade it up. That would be the best. So
Oh no, I like it real. I
you
will
should-
jump
Just a
ahead to the right
blast.
moment and then just blast
You should
it.
fade it up so at
And
first
I
she's
always-
like, "Do I hear? Is that no? That wasn't it."
And then
like turn it back down
no,
again.
because she'd know right away what it was, especially now. But then I always get a text just like all caps, Dan.
But
Love it.
No, but didn't we like forgive him and started to like him briefly? He was
Well,
like in
'cause
some
he-
Super Bowl commercial, and we're like,
Maybe.
Oh,
Was
he's
that when he-
self-aware. He's making fun of himself. He's
yeah, you're right. He was in some kind of self-aware commercial.
Was that when he was still with Britney or
No,
after
it
the
was
breakup?
after. I think it was after.
Well,
maybe-
after they
maybe it
broke
was
up, that was kind of when her little landslide
Yes.
happened, and
Yes.
he was the one who was taking after the kids, like taking control of the kids.
Where she lost custody, which is
Right.
kind of still unclear.
I
Except
feel like-
there's
Yeah,
a
I don't know
driving
what-
incident with her on the
Right,
while
right.
she was driving with the kid on her lap.
Did she
But
also hang him? Oh, that was Michael Jackson. Like hung him
oh
outside.
yeah,
yeah,
no, that was
that
Michael
was- that was
Jackson.
like-
I feel like there were
too?
other things that happened because I was reading the Wikipedia. They're like things have not been like it. She
Things
lost
have not
custody.
been sunshine and roses for Britney Spears, but
yeah.
Yeah,
goes.
but didn't we take his side for a while?
I feel like for a while we liked him, but then I feel like maybe he's back to being a scumbag
Shame on
again.
us. We're horrible.
We are. We turn
You're
on
really
people.
horrible.
I'm surprised
You know-
he's not winning the like right now up in the polls for
Well,
president.
I don't know what he's doing nowadays. His music career did not take off. Popo's Out was not the international hit he was hoping that it would be. So I don't know what he does now. Maybe he's still a dancer. He's.
Again, it's this,
Is
that
it
it's that
DJ?
type of thing where he's set for life now. It
Oh,
doesn't
I could
matter.
see him becoming a DJ.
He every now and then Brittany does mention him when she talks about her kids because her kids have started DJing.
Yeah.
and she was like, "Yeah, he's giving his dad a run for his money. He's
Yeah.
liking DJing now."
Wikipedia pretty much just talks about his sexual liaisons. It doesn't have any other facts.
Yeah, really. He was on Celebrity Fit Club apparently.
Oh wow.
It really has nothing.
That's like the most recent thing that's
yeah.
on here.
In
Can we just
2012,
see
he
it,
suffered
like-
chest pains, which
He was.
Exact amount of kids he has. Does he have 2 kids
I
with
think
all of the people
he has several children.
at least 6?
Let's see, 6.
Six.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
got its own category in the Wikipedia, like
Shar Jackson, Britney
fact
Spears,
box.
Victoria, Prince. Yeah.
His by the way, musical career. His genre is hip hop. His
Yep.
instrument, vocals.
Oh yeah. His
Yeah.
label, Federation.
Associated
What's up?
acts, Britney Spears, and your boy.
Did anyone watch Chaotic?
No.
Britney Spears and Kevin
I don't think anyone
Federline's
in the
reality
world
show.
watched Chaotic.
Oh,
yeah.
I watched.
Did
It's
you
on
watch it?
YouTube.
Okay.
That's when I watched it.
Was that before or after
Yeah.
the Chicken of the Sea one?
Oh, the
Jessica
Newlyweds. I
Simpson.
think. Yeah, Jessica Simpson.
I think it was a ripoff of that.
I think it came out right after.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a great topic. That's it for this episode of 90s Percentile. Time has gone up. So,
Thanks,
Lani,
guys.
I'm going to turn to you before we get out of here. You're not done yet.
Oh dear.
It's another one of Jack's riddles, only Dan is asking it now.
Oh crap.
I have a question for you. What did you learn here today?
I should have
what
been
have you
prepared
learned?
for
What
this.
have you
I knew
learned?
You
this
can't really
I knew
prepare
this
for it. You
question
can't.
was
You don't know what
coming.
you're gonna learn ahead of time.
I'll tell you this. I know for a fact I said I just learned something, and I do not remember what it was.
Okay.
It was only 50 minutes ago.
I did the same thing. There was something I was like, "Oh, this is what I
Yeah,
learned."
I always think like I got to remember
I
this
forgot- I
for
forgot
when
it.
we do what did I learn today.
What did I learn?
I mean, you were teaching us a lot about Britney Spears,
I
so maybe you
know.
didn't learn a whole lot.
I mean, I learned. I mean, I feel like I haven't been able to talk to the male perspective of
Sure.
Britney Spears,
Sure.
and like especially the 1999 era.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I feel like I've learned that there's a lot of affection. There was a lot of affection, not just
Definitely.
like pure sexual like attraction to Britney Spears. There
I'm
was
not
like
gonna
a
lie.
true.
That was
There
part
was-
of it.
there was-
I know.
plenty of
I'm,
that.
I'm sure that there was part of it, but it seemed like there was also like a softer, like
Yeah.
actual crushing, loving kind of thing happening.
Right. Like we're not all just inhuman monsters that just want to have sex with anything that moves.
Right. Yeah.
We actually liked her for who she was.
We're like Swamp Thing. We have we have hearts on the inside.
Okay, that was what I learned. I learned that you were raped by Swamp Thing.
Yes.
There you
and
go.
also, I did also learn that you're very cruel to sickly girls who just want to be
Yeah,
Britney
Jack.
I couldn't, there was
Spears.
nothing I could do.
You couldn't know. You knew the bouncer.
You knew the bouncer.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we could have done a little more for her. Whatever. She's dead now.
Oh, I don't like
you
this.
are really, really going.
I don't like this at
I
all.
learned that Dan plays hilarious pranks on his wife involving
true.
remote computing.
Oh, yeah.
That's absolutely true.
That is. I'm gonna have to ask Janelle about that.
Oh
'cause
yeah,
that's really funny.
she would love to tell you about it. I haven't done it in a while, so maybe she's due. All right, guys. Lani, thank you so much for being our guest.
Thank you so
we
much for
always love
having
having
me.
you on our shows, and we got your show, the Britney Network, is coming.
Yep, November 20th at 9 p.m.
And now
All right.
our audience knows
Pit
all
Loft.
they need to know about Britney to really, truly
Yeah.
appreciate it. So definitely go get tickets and go see it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Do you have a Twitter or anything you wanna plug?
Lani Lee, LANILEE 223,
Okay.
which was also my AIM screen name.
Hey.
So
Oh,
just the,
okay.
You're one
tying
of
it all
those ones
together.
that still have their original one. They didn't change it after 6 days like I did.
No.
Sissy go.
Right now, I bet you my current girlfriend that I never broke up with
Yeah, right.
20 years ago, whatever it was.
She still has that beeper,
she's,
Jack.
she's IMing Sissy Go, and she's just
Yeah.
like, why won't he get back to me?
Why won't you call?
Yeah, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I also have an Instagram account. I'm very proud of.
Oh, is that
That's the
also
weirdest thing
same
to
handle?
say. Same
also
handle.
Lani Lee 223, right?
Yep, Lani
Okay.
Lee
No,
223.
Instagram's
All right.
great. I would be proud of mine if I, had pictures worth taking.
Yeah, if I had any
Nobody,
sort of
nobody
good
wants
one.
to see my flower pubes.
Whoa, God.
Flower pubes.
This is ending
I am
very
not
strangely.
looking up your Instagram account, Jack. But if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at Dan Says.
I'm at Jackie No Breaks, and also watch Return of the Swamp Thing, Swamp Thing 2. That with Heather Locklear. That will explain what this whole flower pube thing is.
Oh,
it's
boy,
it's
oh,
a
boy.
specific
Okay.
reference to a movie.
And if you want to follow the show, we're at We Studios Pod and also at 90s Percentile. But follow We Studios Pod. That's kind
Yep,
of become our
that's
main
our
one
Twitter,
now. And if you want to support the show, you like what we're doing here, go to weepodcast.com, weepodcast.com. You can get all the old episodes there. You can get our Simpsons show, worst episode ever. You can get our sync points. We just put out a new one with Harry Nelson, friend of the show. We watched Air Force One. That's available for $2 on weepodcast.com.
Yeah. Well, if you're listening to it today,
if you're listening to us today, it's actually going to be $1. You're right, because we're going to
on
do
Election Day, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be doing Air Force $1.
Yeah. Basically, we just want to take your mind for 2 hours off of hopefully not, but possibly
No matter-
a horrible moment in American history.
No matter what happens in the polls on Election Day,
Watch Air Force- Harrison
watch
Ford's
Air Force
better.
One, yes. And just this whole election this feels like it's been going on for years. I
Yep.
just want it to be over.
Well, you realize it's not over because the 2020 election starts
Oh,
in 2
no.
days.
Oh,
the
God.
next day, like Chris Christie's
I
going to
remember
announce that he's
specific
running.
jokes of like talk show hosts making the day after the 2012 election, like, well, now the 2016 election
Yeah,
started,
and they weren't
and
wrong.
it wasn't a joke.
They were not wrong.
It's also
Yeah.
no matter what, an impeachment's going to start the day after the election, no matter what happens.
Well, not no matter what, because if Trump wins, he probably also won the Senate and the House, which we're doomed. If
Oh,
Clinton
God.
wins,
Guys.
it's still a mixed government.
This is a fun podcast. Let's not get into the
Man, let's
the
just talk about
morass
the
of-
dying cancer girl. That was much more
Oh,
beat.
God. All
Much more
right.
beat than a Trump presidency.
Oh, baby, how was I supposed to know?
While you're on WePodcast.com, click our Amazon links. That supports the show, keeps it free. Or you can just go to Amazon.WePodcast.com. Whatever you buy, we get a small cut. That helps keep the show free. We like that. If you don't want to spend any money, all you got to do is go on iTunes, give us a 5-star review, and rate us. And you may get your review read on a show by a future guest, like Lani is about to read right now.
Do we have one?
This is fun.
We do have one, Jack.
Yes.
So, Lani,
Okay.
Should you sing it? Should you sing it? Should you read it in your Britney voice?
You're putting me on the spot.
that'll be up to you. But yeah, so our latest 5-star review.
Hey y'all, it's Brittany, and here is a review for 90s Percentile, one of the best nostalgia podcasts out there,
Oh, thank you,
by Chris Maffel on October 25th.
thank you, Chris.
He gave you 5 stars.
Ooh, I like that.
I very much look forward to this show popping up in my podcast app every Monday. Great hosts with great chemistry and always fun subject matter. Highly recommended. Goyan Steers. That
I
was
believe it says-
not the handle name.
It says Guyoni Steers, I believe.
That's our. That's a character from our podcast.
Yes. That's
Can't quite remember the
don't
origin.
totally remember
It's something
Guy
about
Steers.
Guy Pearce and
Yes.
Tony Stark, I think. Am I-
I don't remember. So that's
we love that you guys remember these
Yeah.
jokes because we certainly don't.
we just say things and then just that's it for us, and then you guys remember
I
it, make it
totally
a
forgot
thing.
about it.
Oh, so
I
nice.
loved
Yeah.
Guyoni. Yeah, that's a great review.
Yes, so
nice of
thank
him.
you, Lani, or should I say Brittany? And thanks for being our guest.
I hope you don't like get hit on the head by a flower pot or something leaving, and you just suddenly think you're Britney Spears.
It might happen. There's all those dangerous, precariously placed flower pots around We Studios. You never know. All right, guys. That's,
Well, I have to put my pubes somewhere.
oh God. That's it for this episode of 90s Percentile. My name is Dan.
My name is Jack, and we'll see you in another decade.